Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Stamping Fun with Donna. I'm Donna, and that's Charlie. Apparently, he decided to make a little bit of an appearance as well. Today, we're going to be making a card which you can use for Valentine's Day, you can use for anniversaries, you can use for just about anything. It is a beautiful card, and you will be surprised at how quick and easy it is to make. So let's head over to the stamping table, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the card we will be making, and I'm just going to place it up here. Now, the star of this show is clearly this die. This is called the Detailed Hearts die. I love this die. It is so easy, and it is so beautiful, and you can use it in so many ways. You'll be seeing a lot more of this die. So I'm going to be pulling out the Big Boss, which is what I call our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Because we also have the Baby Boss, which is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, the other thing we're going to be using that is another star of the show is this Ombre paper. As a matter of fact, let me move this out of the way for just a second and show you this Ombre paper because it is stunning. It has pinks and purples on one side. That's Rococo Rose and don't remember offhand. And then on the other side, there's Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana. And each one of these comes with an ombre sheet like this. And then it comes with these little circles as well. So you can use them for all sorts of things. What I want to do here is to create an ombre effect on the hearts die. And it's easy to do with this ombre paper. So let me set this aside for just a second and pull back the Big Boss. Now, here is the Detailed Hearts die. It's one die. It is a large die, and it is makes this beautiful cut all at one time. So it makes everything so easy. So here are the plates. Now, of course, since we're using a die, we need plate number 1, plate number 2, plate number 3, and then we'll need another plate number 3. So I'm going to put a piece of this ombre paper here. Now, as always, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to give you all of the sizes and dimensions right now, but if you head over to stampingfunwithdonna.com, it will have all of the directions and the sizes and dimensions there. It's also linked down below. And while we're doing business, I just want to say, if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And to please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to grow my channel and to be able to bring these videos to you and to reach more people. I'm going to put the plate on top and run it through the machine like so. Okay, now while we have the machine, well, first let me show you what is in here. So if you take this off, you will see that there is this gorgeous die cut. It does take just a little bit of patience to make sure that it doesn't rip and you get all of the die cut out together. Although it's never ripped on me, but I'm just careful. I just want to make sure I get everything out the way it's supposed to be. There we go. Let me get these papers out and just sort of use your fingers to get whatever's remaining off. So this will just take a second. There we go. And you can see that some of these hearts are cut out and some of them have solids in between. And then I'm going to show you in just a second what you are left with. You are left with two different things. Let me grab this. Almost out. There we go. Okay, so you're left with this part, which you can actually use as a stencil. And you're left with all of these beautiful little hearts as well, which I keep, and then I use them on another project. So all you have to do is keep those in a little bag until you're ready to use them. So bringing this back for just a second. Let me move this out of the way for just a second. And I see a couple more hearts in here, so let me grab those and save those. And what I'm going to do here is to just get out the remaining hearts and little pieces of paper. This one ripped a little bit more than it usually does when I was taking it out. But it's not going to affect the die cut at all. It's just that it's going to affect the way it looks for the solid piece that's left over. okay. If you wanted to use it as a stencil, you'd want it to not rip like it did today. And of course, it's never ripped on me before, so if I do it on the video, of course it's going to rip. Okay, here we go, almost done. And then we can punch out these little pieces here. There's just a couple more left. It just takes a minute or two to get this all in the right way. There's a couple little hearts down here. And there we go. Okay, so there we have our beautiful die cut. And let me pull this one out. Now, I noticed that it does tend to warp, I guess, to be a little bit like not as flat as it should be after I pull it out of the die. So what I do usually, if I'm going to go on to something else, let me just put these little hearts away. There we go. Is that I'll take this and I'll place it on top and I'll let it unwarp. It won't be that big of a deal, even if it is, because we're going to glue it down, but I do like to try to get it so it's a little bit less warped. There we go, like that. Okay, so we have our pieces here and we have our pieces for the sentiment. So let's go ahead and do the sentiment next. I'm gonna pull the big boss back in. And I'm going to grab those plates again, which I just set aside. Those plates are right here on this side. There we go. So we have the 1, 2, and 3, and put them like this. I'm going to take a piece of white, and I'm going to grab, we have to stamp the sentiment. I like to stamp the sentiment first. Some people will cut it first. I like to stamp it first because I find that that way you can make sure that the die cut is in the right place. So I've got my Rococo Rose here, and I've got my sentiment, Know That You Are Loved, from Celebrate Sunflowers. And I'm going to just go ahead and just stamp it right in the middle, and we have a beautiful impression. So let me put this back aside and grab the big boss one more time. I'm pretty sure this is the last time. Put it here, and we're going to be using today dies from Tasteful Labels. I just got this. I love this set. It has such interesting dies, and they're all different, but they go together really well. So let's take this one and put it right on top like that. Know that you are loved. Beautiful sentiment. I love that sentiment. And then cover it with another plate and run it through very quickly. There we go. Okay, and now the last thing, I'm gonna grab it over here so you can see it and take this off. And there it is, beautiful. And the last thing we need to do is to cut out something to put the sentiment on, sort of a background for the sentiment. So what I am going to do is grab these Tasteful Labels again, and you can see that this one fits inside this one very nicely. I'm going to place it here. It's always better to place these dies on a bit of an angle if it's got a solid edge. It's just a little easier for the machine to get through. So pull that through, and let's go ahead. That's a lovely die cut too. So that's all we had to do with the machine. Let's put the big boss down. Now we're going to grab our sentiment and place it right on here. I'm going to put this card back up so you can see what it looks like. I'm getting a little bit of a sun there, so I'm going to try to avoid the sun so you can see what I'm doing. So the next thing we're going to do is to use some liquid glue and place it. Come on, a little more, a little more. You got this. I know you got this. Here we go. There we go. Okay. And place this directly on top of this one, like so. Beautiful. And you can see they mimic each other a bit, but they don't match exactly, but they look really good together. So we've got the sentiment already, and we've got the die cut. And now we have to put the card together. So here is the card base that I have. And again, I'm not going to tell you right now the sizes and directions, but if you go to stampinfunwithdonna.com, they're all there, and it's linked below, so you'll be able to see it. And we're going to place a piece of the ombre paper on top, and then we're going to place a piece of smaller white on top. I actually decided to go a little bit smaller than here because I really want to see the ombre from behind. In fact, I think I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller again. So let me pull out my trimmer and trim off just another 1/4 of an inch. I'm really trying to make the ombre paper and the hearts be the star of the show here. So I want to make sure that we see enough of the ombre paper here. There we go. That'll be better. All righty. So we'll place it like this, and then we're going to place the die cut right on top. I like that better than this because you can see more of the ombre paper. So what I'm going to do here is to go ahead and, using liquid glue, place this piece on top of the white. And you can see that the Coastal Cabana is on the back of the Rococo Rose. That's the way this designer series paper is made. So here we go. Put that one like that. That's beautiful. Now, the problem is, how do you attach the hearts, right? Because they're very lacy and it's hard to figure out how to attach it without having glue come out and have it be all sticky. And so we have our silicone mat to the rescue. What I like to do when I have something that's this sort of lacy or difficult to put glue on is I use a sponge and my silicone mat. So here is my sponge. These come in packages of 3, and you can cut them into quarters, so you end up with 12 for each one. This one I use only for glue. My silicone mat no glue will stick to it. So when this dries, like this part here, you just use your finger to rub it and it just comes right off. So it makes it much easier for projects like this. And what I'm going to do is just place some glue around here, trying not to lift it. It is lifting a little bit. It's better if it doesn't lift. Just place it a little bit of places and pull it off. I have a little bit too much glue right there. Let me take that off and place this back aside. And what I'm going to do now is to glue the white one on, because I forgot to do that already. So let's glue the white one on right now. There we go. And place this in the center like so. And if you prefer the tape runner for this, you can use the tape runner for this. Obviously, you can't use it for the die cut. And now I'm going to place the hearts. Whoopsie. Let's grab this back and place them. I'm going to turn this. I think it might be easier because this end is wiggling a little bit. There we go. And place it like this. And then all you need to do is to push down with your hands like so, because you have the glue on the back of it already. And there you go. Now, it may be that you get to the end and you go, oh, I need a little glue there, but that's fine. Just grab your glue sponge and put it on the back of the die cut. Don't put it on the paper, because if you put it on the paper, it's going to be not just on the die cut, it's going to be everywhere. And the same thing here. Just put a little more glue there. Press down with your fingers, with your non-gluey fingers. I'm going to wipe my fingers a little bit. There we go. And we have this beautiful background. And all we need to do to it now is to put our sentiment on and our ribbon. So here is the sentiment we did earlier. And if you know me, tell me what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up. That's what I like to do with my sentiments. Almost always. I love to pop up the sentiments. I think it just is so lovely. And as I tell you all the time, these are really cheap. These are a penny and a 1/4 of a penny per Stampin' Dimensional, so there's no reason not to use them and not to feel like you can put as many on as you need. So let's go ahead and place this right here, and it's also going to help to hold down the hearts. Now I'm going to grab my my ribbon. I have here the polka dot tulle ribbon, and when I did this one, I wrapped it around underneath like that. I'm not sure that really looks like you can tell that it's wrapped around, So instead, what I did for today is I'm going to go ahead and cut off a little piece here, like so, and just make a little ribbon and then just use a glue dot to connect it. So let me go ahead. I'm not the best at making the ribbons like this, and I do have a video coming out on how to make a fork ribbon, which actually works so nicely. I probably should have been ready for that, but I wasn't. So let me go ahead and make this beautiful, like so, and then we have this gorgeous ribbon right here. Okay, so I'm going to use a glue dot to place this right here, I think going this way. So let me grab my glue dots and just run my finger over until I find the next glue dot. And then I'm going to grab my take your pick tool and using the paper piercing attachment, pull up a glue dot, place it right where I want the ribbon, and place this directly on top like so. And there you go. We have this gorgeous card. And it really took very little time. And you can see that it looks a little bit different when I made the background paper a little bit more showy by making the white a little bit smaller. So that's what we have for you today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. You can subscribe to my channel. You can get notifications whenever I list new ones by ringing the bell. Please visit me at stampingfunwithdonna.com. You can see all my classes and all my upcoming videos, all my past videos. And you can also sign up for my newsletter. I send out a newsletter once or twice a month. And all you have to do is to send me a contact page and I'll send it to you. So thanks for spending some time with me. Bye.